Hey y'all, welcome to the Jezebel Way Tarot. Tonight I'm going to be doing Aries, love and separation for the month of July. I wanted to say thank you, subscribers, for continuing to support the channel. I surely appreciate each and every one of you. New subscribers, thank you so much. And thanks for taking a chance on the Jezebel Way. Cross watchers, come on in. I know you guys are dying to see what's going on with Aries. So let's see if we can get Aries a good read. Looks like you're riding away from a toxic situation, Aries. One that made you feel a little bit victimized. So let's see what the cards have to say. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles, planning for the future. Some of you could be learning a new skill, a new job, learning some kind of a new craft. In love readings, normally this means planning for the future, moving in together, so on and so forth. Okay, Aries, this card flipped over for you, the Four of Cups. This is, focusing on the negative parts of the situation instead of the blessings, okay? So basically you're being given another opportunity to do something if you want to do that, but you have to quit focusing on the negative things or how things went wrong and focus on what is going to go right. Some of you could be dealing with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, others Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Lover has the Nine of Swords, so there's a great deal of anxiety. You're sort of mirroring each other's behavior in a way. You're unhappy about the situation. Your partner's having a lot of anxiety. This could be regarding this forward movement in the future. Let's see what your blocks are. Okay, your blocks are reunion. Right now, let's leave it as reunion. So coming together in celebration, some sort of reunification is a block for you. Yeah, your lover has the Eight of Swords. So what we have here is like a self-imposed victimization. Either your partner feels victimized by this forward movement in the situation, or what's happening here is that your partner is pretending to be the victim and having a lot of anxiety. Nothing but sword action for your partner over here. So they're in their head. The communication's kind of wonky. Maybe the communication is the blame game, or why they can't fix stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes people, misery loves company, right? Sometimes people like to wallow in their misery instead of, having some positive manifestation. This is an idea of lack. This card represents lack. So you're both unhappy about a situation. Your partner has a great deal of anxiety. They could be bringing on their own anxiety, though, to be quite honest with you. They could be, creating their own victim mentality here. And your block is reunification. They need to get out of this mentality and, pick up their bootstraps, so to speak. Whoa, a whole bunch of stuff wanted to pop out here. Okay. Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Some of you could be dealing with that. But what this says to me is that communication is an issue. The right kind of communication is an issue. And calling things like you see it as an issue. So it could be that you two, you guys are pussyfooting around the situation now. With an Aries, I can't imagine that's happening. But for some reason in this read, you're a little muted. I think it's time to speak the truth and call this situation like it is. This is the Queen of Swords is a very wise woman, very, she's been around the block a time or two, she's had some tragedy in her life, and, she's very discerning. And I think that what this is saying to me, the block between the two of you, is that your partner needs to cut the shit, okay? And you need to speak your truth and tell them that, you're having a hard time with this idea of reunification, this idea of moving forward in the future, because, they're always playing the victim. And for an Aries, I can imagine that's like nails on a chalkboard. You know what I mean? This person isn't moving forward. They're staying stuck. And they're staying stuck because they enjoy the attention that they get when they stay stuck. So you're kind of like ready to cut that out because you want to move forward. Yeah, are you upset about the situation? Sure. But you're ready to look forward and keep it moving. And so reunification with this situation for you, Aries, is a block. So Aries, this may be a situation in which you're kind of planning for the future on your own without this particular partner. Okay, so here's what I have for potential final outcome. I think the potential is there for reunion, okay? The potential is there for that. However, your person, again, is hiding behind something, okay? They were hiding behind a bunch of swords over here. Now they're hiding behind a bunch of wands. So, excuse me, what that tells me is they're getting out of their head, okay? Right here, they're hiding behind their thoughts, their victim mentality, their woe is me. And here, they're hiding behind the stagnation in physical movement. They are not moving forward. They're hiding behind this stick, trying to protect themselves because, they feel like they've been beat up again. So they're getting out of their mentality about feeling sorry for themselves, but they're still not getting off their ass. And also, for you, Aries, this could be a matter of you needing to, in true Aries fashion, take control of the situation and move it along. Gemini is here. So there is potential here for abundance and love. There is potential here for coming together. Maybe joining a family, starting a family. But the block is that, Aries, you have had enough of your partner's whining. And you're kind of tired of that, and you're ready to move forward. So let's clarify some of these. Yeah, so there is a great deal of betrayal in moving forward. But, Aries, here you are, you will be moving forward. There was some sort of planning for the future that left you betrayed, okay? You're going to come right out of that because you're going to be like, that's it, we're done. I loved you at one time, no problem. But you know what? You got to get up and move. You can't stay in this mindset. You're not the victim here. And sometimes the person who likes to play the victim is actually the one who causes the anxiety. Sometimes people like to create the situation and then sling the shit on you and act like they can't believe you did that. So I think that's kind of what you're experiencing here. That's the feeling I'm getting. So you're not willing to move forward here because you feel like this person's kind of narcissistic. They're creating situations and then throwing it in your lap and acting like you're the one who did it. It's time for you to cut that out of your life and move forward, and that's just exactly what you're going to do. You're not going to hide behind this anymore. This relationship here You're not going to hide behind it. And you're going to be victorious in that forward movement. Now, for some of you, this could be twin flame issues because we do have Archangel Michael in the Lovers. But I think, Aries, what this tells me, if this is a twin flame situation for you, okay, you are not going to stay in this situation where your partner feels like they're victimized all the time. And really, in reality, sometimes when somebody feels like they're the victim all the time, they're victimizing other people, okay? So I think, Aries, you're tired of being the actual victim, and you're tired of watching your partner pretend like they're the victim. And on the twin flame journey, for many of us, we have to learn to slough off those coping mechanisms that we've developed all along the way, since childhood. Part of the twin flame journey is sloughing off that those negative coping skills and moving forward. And it looks like that's what you're doing. You're telling your person, I love you. Yeah, sure. Do I want to move forward in the future? Yes. But there's some things that you're going to have to work through, some inner work that you're going to have to do. That's what you're telling your partner. Once you decide to do that inner work, sure, can we move forward? Absolutely. The Empress says absolutely, we'll move forward. But not until you deal with these issues that make you have this victim mentality, because that is keeping us out of union. That is lowering vibration. So you've decided to quit hiding behind this twin flame relationship. You are moving forward, Aries, in victory with your own things. So basically, you've learned this lesson. You've mastered this lesson, and you're leveling up. Yeah, here you go. You are taking that new leap of faith. You're leveled up. You're moving forward. You've learned this karmic lesson, and you're on your way to the next. Which, the next card after the Fool is the Magician, right? So you've learned the lesson of the Fool, okay? And now you're moving on to learn the lesson about creating balance, which is the Magician, as above, so below. Making decisions, making the best out of situations, and using everything that you have available to you to make it work. So you've learned this lesson. Here you're moving forward. Now your partner is just still trying to overcome something. Some of you could be dealing with Leo. Your partner's still trying to learn their lessons. They haven't leveled up as quickly as you have because they don't understand it's within, not without, right? With this card here, they're looking without to try to figure out how to solve their problem. But what they're not realizing is they are the problem. And until they figure out that the answer is within, they're going to continue to be in this mentality of lack. They're trying to figure it out. They haven't figured it out yet, though. And a lot of times in the beginning of a twin flame journey, there's a lot of toxic energy, because you've awakened, you've activated, you've awakened, and you have to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do? So that begins the lesson learning, the karmic lessons that you learn, the cycles that you close out. And that's kind of where you're at. So the Three of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Swords. So there's going to be incoming communication. You're bringing this communication to your partner that, look, I'm going to have to cut this out. We're going to have to go our separate ways for right now because, I know you're my soulmate. Yes, I love you. I know we're a destined couple. But I cannot... and in this, it looks like you're riding toward it here, but it's actually this way. You're riding away from it. Okay, so telling your partner that you have unconditional love for them, okay? But you're also saying, I got to ride away for a while. There's things that I have to do. So you're entering a time of a period of separation at this point. Yeah, you're cutting out toxicity. Some of you could be dealing with Capricorn. You're cutting the toxicity out of your world. And you're saying, I'm not going to be bound to this anymore because every time we get into an argument, you act like, you're the victim in this situation, and you're not. And I am tired of you manipulating me, because when you act like you're the victim, you manipulate me. So I can't do that anymore with you until you figure out how not to do that anymore. So you're cutting out toxic elements out of this situation, which is what you're supposed to do, right? Excuse me, that went over the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords says, no more. We're done with this. I see what you're doing now, and you're not going to victimize me that way anymore. Sometimes people like to turn stuff around, you know what I mean? So, Eight of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So, your partner will try to pretend to come out of that mentality a little bit. The manipulation hasn't gone anywhere, but they're going to try to smooth it over with an offer, okay? But what's behind them? What's behind them? They're going to go right back into this toxic behavior if they don't figure out how to move out of that. And it will be like a nasty back and forth cycle until your partner learns how to overcome that. You'll get into an argument or whatever, and they'll feel like the victim. They'll pretend as though they're the victim, like you're hurting them, And actually, it's their own behavior creating the issue. Then when they know you've about had it and you're fed up, they're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I love you here, blah, blah, blah. But this time, Aries, you're just simply not standing for it. So let's get a couple of clarifiers on it and kind of see where we're at. I'm going to do a twin flame card since this is really kind of a twin flame read. Bottom of the deck, spiritual twin flame. Well, we know that. We know that it's a twin flame situation. Walking away. Yeah, you're walking away from your twin flame. Okay, you're walking away from your twin flame. Because there's lessons they need to learn, okay? And there are lessons that you need to learn. You've mastered one portion of your lesson. Now it's time to move on to the next. So some of you could be seeing, and this I think will be happening probably around September or October, okay? I think some of you will be moving on to the next lesson in this relationship. And that's just part of the twin flame journey. Time frame is September or October. You've mastered the lesson of the Fool. You're moving on to the Magician. And you've decided to enter into a period of time of separation. But again, like I've always said, separation is an illusion, okay? You can never really be separated from your twin. That's just the 3D illusion of separation. You always have access to them in here and in here. So let's get another card on it. And this is basically just about their attitude. I mean, Aries, I don't see any problems sexually here. I don't see any problems financially. I don't see any. The only barrier that's holding you back, you and your partner back, or you and your twin flame, is this attitude of your partner. And I think you're just fed up. Ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. So this is about you getting the support you need. You're not getting the support you need here with somebody who acts like they're a victim every time you turn around. Every time there's conflict. Every time something doesn't go their way, they're a victim. Here's the situation. You can never win with a person who can't deal with conflict. You just can't. Now, I'm not saying you got to be ultra aggressive. There's a way to negotiate. There's a way to resolve situations without being aggressive. But you know what? Things never get resolved if there's not an element of conflict. If you're not willing to face your fear of conflict, you're not willing to face conflict in an appropriate way, what gets resolved? And this is a person here who doesn't like conflict, who will not confront conflict. They want to win. And how they win is by pretending like they're a victim on a continual basis. Well, you can't win with somebody like that, okay? They've got to figure it out, because here in the real world, we got shit to do. So somebody has to get out of this. You're not getting supported with a person like that, and you're being called to seek support elsewhere, perhaps. And it doesn't matter what's, side of the coin flips over on with the person like that. They will always turn it right back around to them. They will always flip it right back around to how they're being mistreated. Okay, so that's emotionally immature, developmentally immature, and this person needs to cut loose of some of that and kind of try to be a grown-up. So that's what I see here, a perpetual child. Somebody you have to constantly look after. Someone you have to constantly remind them to take their medicine. Someone you have to constantly pick up after. Somebody you have to constantly deal with like they're a kid. And no matter what the situation is, it's always reversed back to them. How could you mistreat them that way? That is somebody who is an undercover manipulator and kind of an undercover narcissist. And you'll never be able to win with somebody like that. So, you're doing the right thing and walking the way. The best thing that you can do is to say, you know what, when you grow up, let me know. Because big girls got jobs to do. So, divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. Okay, the underlying order is that you're being called to level up on your twin flame journey. That's what I was going to say a while ago, and it slipped my mind. Sometimes the 1111 for twins can be, a signal of the twin flame, right? But other times the 1111 means spiritual leveling up. Sometimes for twin flames, the 1111 can mean literal communication. It could be a lesson learned. It could be the universe saying, okay, you've mastered this lesson. Now it's time to move on to another lesson. So if you've been seeing 5s or 11s, you're leveling up. And that's really where you want to be. You want to be continually leveling up in a situation. You don't want to stay stagnant or still, because that's when death comes. That's when, the ego takes back over again and you go back to sleep, right? If you're not continually learning lessons and applying those lessons, you can't stay awakened. You might have to learn them all over again, which is a lot of work. And one of the things, Aries, which, I never classified Aries as a codependent sign. But, Aries, if this person is used to being able to play the victim, maybe you're used to being codependent to that toxicity, okay? Maybe they're always, wanting you to save them, and you run and save them. But, really, you kind of need saving now. So this could be an issue of manipulation and codependency. Those are all 3D paradigms and 3D lessons we've got to slough off, coping mechanisms we've learned to level up and move forward. So bottom of the deck, new life. Okay, so bang, there you go. You're being called to find your support. You're being called to look past illusions, see things for what they are right in the moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. What is it today? And find your support elsewhere. Have a new life, find yourself, support yourself, move on to learn your future lessons. And if anybody can do that, it's Aries. Authority, here you are, Aries. This is signifies the Emperor. You're being called to work on your own independent foundation here with the 4. This is a balance of mind, body, spirit, but it's a balance in your foundation. You may need to work on your root chakra. Scorpios are representative of the root chakra because it's the genital region, and maybe that's been a little bit drained because this person's kind of pulling on it. Some of you were dealing with water signs in here. So 4 means work on your root chakra, work on your foundation. Okay, but also the 4 for twin flames, it's kind of like it forms a square, okay? And that means that you've learned karmic lessons. You're closing out karmic lessons. You've learned karmic lessons, exactly what it said earlier, and it's time for you to level up. Take charge of your life, Aries, and level up. That's what it's telling you. Clearing out negativity, solar plexus chakra, here in this area, digestive issues, eat some bananas, clear that out. Work on your own balance, your mind, body, and spirit balance, so that you can move forward in this situation. You know that song, Call Me the Breeze, Leonard Skinner's song, hey, they call me the breeze. I keep rolling down the road. That's kind of the song that's playing in my head right now. This is what you're looking for, support. You're looking to come together in love. You're looking for an equal partner. Okay? You're looking for someone who's equal, not someone who needs continual rescuing. Sudden changes were happening. I think that, Aries, your attentions may have been elsewhere in this relationship because you weren't getting what you needed. You were having to be somebody's mommy or daddy, and who wants to be in a relationship with someone that they have to be a mother or father to in that sense. So this is kind of like you looking on maybe what you were missing out on in this relationship, and you're going to seek that out and find it. So, Aries, that's what I have for you for your love and separation. The separation is happening because it's a literal separation. You're leveling up. You have other lessons that you need to learn, and your partner has to grow up. So, I'll be back in August to get you your love and then some read. But remember, this is an opportunity, Aries, for you to level up, an opportunity for you to take control of your own life and make it what you want. So there's a lot of positivity in here because not only are you cutting off a dead limb here, you're able to find yourself in this process, okay? So it's not all negative. Sometimes change is good. I'll see you guys at the beginning of August.